What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about another hint at a Twisted Metal game. Seems like I talk about this thing like every week or two, and although I talk about it as if it is like 100% confirmed, obviously it's never been confirmed. It's just a lot of like hints. It's me feeling really confident about myself and about it. I mean, I do think it's going to happen. I'm not changing my tune on that anytime soon. But no, I want to talk about, this was several days ago actually, and this is when Sony did their kind of financial little report and talk about how they're broadening the horizons and going out into all these different directions. And a friend of mine on Twitter, Beware the Batman, great guy, he had tweeted out, and there's one specific slide, and I want to look at it because it kind of tells everything. And he said, like, did they really just announce a Twisted Metal game in a slideshow? I think they kind of did. I think they announced it a long time ago, but I think this slide in particular is a really good indicator, in case you didn't already believe it, that we are getting a Twisted Metal game. So let's look at it really fast. Now, there's two things to kind of take a look at, right? There's Twisted Metal at the very bottom, and then there's the show logo, and obviously those are two very different things. One's the games, one the show. Now, you could maybe look into that bottom picture of the game and say, well, why would you show it like that? Because that bottom row is actually talking about, well, it's the distribution, right? But it's doing it on different places. So like you have Crunchyroll, you have Peacock, and then you also have HBO. So it's telling you, like The Last of Us, we're diversifying. We're putting out The Last of Us show somewhere. We're putting out the Twisted Metal show somewhere, and we're putting out, a lot of other things in Crunchyroll, right? So, but at the same time, why show a picture of the game? Why have that be the game when that's supposed to be the show that you're saying the show is going to be on Peacock? So that's weird, but I don't read into that too much. The thing I read into the most is the row right above it, where they talk about amplifying IP synergies. So again, the idea here is you have more than one thing, right? You have like a movie, and then you have the movie and you have a game. You have things to kind of bounce off of. So what are the first couple things they show here? Where they show Marvel's Spider-Man 2 bouncing off. Now you could either say that bounces off with Miles, with, Across the Spider-Verse, which is the next picture. Or you could say, even Sony and Marvel's, Tom Holland's Spider-Man. You could argue that as well. You go to like the Gran Turismo movie, right? If we skip Twisted Metal, Gran Turismo, well, the Gran Turismo games are ongoing. And then you have The Last of Us, and The Last of Us games are ongoing. They haven't confirmed 3. Every rumor suggests it's happening. And then you also have the multiplayer, which we know is happening, right? So what do these all have as a theme? They all have, in the moment, something to tie itself to, right? So everything on this list, except for Twisted Metal, everything on this list is, well, we're coming out with a game, well, we have a movie. Or we're coming out with a movie, we have a game. You could say even Uncharted, in a sense, right? Twisted Metal is the only one where, okay, well, you're coming out with a show, and this is where you show the show, logo, right? You're coming out with a show. You haven't had a game since 2012 or 2013. So it's been 10 years at least since the last Twisted Metal game. So again, they're not outright coming out and saying, hey, we're working on a Twisted Metal game. But I've said this argument many times before, a theme with almost all of, not all of them, but almost all of these Sony, production projects is that the games are still alive. Gravity Rush is one example where that's not the case, and Days Gone is an example. Now, I think maybe we could get more of that. I mean, maybe that's a sign in the right direction for the franchise. It seems unlikely because Gravity Rush, that studio was like shut down. Days Gone, they moved to a new game. So it doesn't seem likely, but it's possible. But those are the only two outliers, and Twisted Metal. And then again, like this chart is basically saying that same thing, right? Where it's like, well, we're making these things because we have games, or, because we're trying to synergize it. Well, you don't have a game for Twisted Metal. It's been too long to consider that kind of like relevance or new, right? Part of like this modern era. It's too old for that. So I think that's just another sign. We're getting a game. It's going to happen. I don't know why they didn't announce it. I feel like they can announce it, and maybe we'll get it, hopefully an announcement by the end of the year. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.